There's going to be days where you feel lost, where you feel stuck, and you don't know what to do. You don't know what's next. But it's not about knowing what's next. It's about taking the next step. Because if all you're doing is just sitting there and thinking, everything seems impossible. Everything seems like it's not doable, or it's not something you want to do. It's about doing what you haven't done and doing what you need to get done. Once you start moving, gaining momentum, the next step becomes clear. Sometimes you can only think about the next step when you finish the first step. When you walk that first step, you'll know what step to take next. But you can't think about step 10 when you haven't even taken the first step. It's about taking things one step at a time, one day at a time. Don't think about what you're going to do next year. Think about what you're going to do today. And when tomorrow comes, you'll know what to do tomorrow. And it really depends on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're struggling with, and knowing that you're not the only one struggling. Everybody struggles with something. For some, it's relationships, and it's just something that they struggle with. Whether it's finding one or just having relationship issues, it's just something they're not very good at. For others, it's friendships. Surrounding themselves with real friends is something that they struggle with. Or it could be a job. They struggle with finding a job or working at a job that they don't enjoy, and they feel like they're stuck in a routine. Every day just feels like the same thing, the same struggle, and you don't know when that struggle is going to stop. But you can't just think about it. You have to work on it. Thinking doesn't improve anything. You can only improve by working on it. It's not necessarily thinking about what's next. It's about working on the things you need to improve on, things you want to improve on, because you don't want to feel this way anymore. And I think a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people struggle with something, but they refuse to work on it, and it becomes something that they struggle with for life. You have to be aware enough to know where you want to be in life and what's getting in the way of you getting there and what you can do to overcome it. It's not just about sitting there and accepting your situation if it's something you don't have to accept, if it's something you can change. You accept what you can't change and you improve on the things that you can to become the best version of you. Facing difficulties and hardships isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you need to face those things to wake you up, to make you realize how hard life is, to toughen you up, to make you the person you need to be to get to where you want to be. And if you're not where you want to be, it's because you haven't given it enough time. But that's only if you put in enough work. If you work hard consistently and you're still not where you want to be. But if you're not working hard, no matter how much time you give it, you're not going to get there. It's a combination of hard work, consistency, and giving it enough time. It's about having the patience and letting the work do all the talking. It's not about thinking about how hard you worked. It's about doing what's left, what you haven't done. Working hard for step 1 doesn't get you there. It's just a part of the journey. You still have to work hard for step 2, and it can be frustrating. It takes years to build up an empire. It only takes one day for it to fall. One mistake. But that's just life. Life is not easy. Nothing is easy. And a lot of times we think about other people and their situation and think about how easy they have it. But you don't know what they did behind the scenes. The amount of work they put in. When they got up every day, regardless of how tired they were, regardless of how they felt, because they have to run that business. And y'all might think there's business owners that don't do anything. They let their employees do the work and they collect the profit. But it wasn't always like that. They had to work hard from the beginning to build that business up until it became stable enough where they can lay back. But you have to put in the work regardless of how you feel until you get to that point. And once you have a successful business, then it becomes self-sufficient. Once you have that structure, then you can lay back a little bit and go on a vacation. But until then, it's hard work every single day. And a lot of times we tell ourselves, oh, we'll do it tomorrow. I'm too tired. I did a lot of work already. I need a break. Successful people don't think like that. They do what they need to do to get there, to become successful. And even when you get there, you have to do what you need to do to maintain that success. A lot of people just focus on trying to reach success, and they forget they also have to maintain it. You could give someone $1 million and they'll be broke by next year because they don't know how to maintain it. A lot of people think it's so easy to run a business. It's not. Most people will spend their profits on day one, on luxury products, buying things to flex. But you can't do that from day one. You have to reinvest those profits. And you have to continue doing that until the business becomes stable. And stable enough to generate enough profits to sustain that business and have a little extra money to support yourself. Only then can you reward yourself with a vacation or buying something that you like. But you also have to stay within budget and not go overboard. It's about having that awareness and intelligence and applying it the right way. There's going to be days where you doubt yourself. But as long as you have a plan and you're taking action, that's all that matters. Every successful person had a time where they doubted themselves. But they had a plan and they did what they needed to do. And they made adjustments along the way. Because there's always going to be something that you don't see coming. Unexpected things are just a part of life. But you have to be able to adapt, replan, and re-strategize. That's what adapting means. It's not the most intelligent or the strongest that succeeds. It's the most adaptive. Whatever it is that you're struggling with in life and whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you have to believe in yourself, even when no one else does. No one believed in the most successful people before they reached success. Everyone always tells them they can't do it, but that's because they couldn't do it themselves. Everyone tells them they're dreaming too big. That's for extraordinary people. That's for people with talent. Just live an average life and do what everyone else does. No one can see your talent besides you. You know what you're capable of. So believe in your capabilities and believe in yourself.